Next, I'm going to highlight my career and show how this very sophisticated spiritual attack, the name of which I have written at the top of this page, has negatively affected that. Before I get started, I want to make something clear. Just because a person says they're a target doesn't mean that person is looking to make excuses. Targeting is biblical, especially the type of targeting that I speak about. It's a very high level spiritual attack that manifests in the real world. As I mentioned in previous videos, I did work 25 years for one company and retired from there. That's the type of stability I had before all of this stuff started. Not only did I work 25 years for one company, but I was retired from there by age 46. Now, because I have a limited amount of time to make this video, I want to only focus on my last 8 jobs and show a very interesting pattern that is not consistent with my work history, but is consistent with targeting. To do this, I'm going to count backwards, starting with my most recent job. However, I'm going to exclude this current job, which, by the way, I am doing well in. Now, the first example that I'm going to show is the amount of time that I actually worked at each company. And again, I want to remind you guys that I did do 25 years with one company before all of these jobs. Job number 8, 3 months. Job number 7, 5 months. Job number 6, 8 months. Job number 5, 10 months. Job number 4, 5 months. Job number 3, 7 months. Job number 2, 5 months. And job number 1, 2 months. Now, it should be quite obvious to all of you that something is extremely wrong here. After working 25 years for one company, in my last 8 jobs, I have not been able to complete 1 year in any of them. Next, I'm going to show which of the 8 jobs that I left in good standing and which of the 8 that I didn't. I'll use a check mark for the jobs that I left on a positive note and an X for the jobs that I left on a not so positive note. Job number 8, I left in very good standing. Job number 7, I did not leave in good standing. Job number 6, I left in good standing. Job number 5, I left in good standing. Job number 4, I left in good standing. Job number 3, I left in good standing. Job number 2, I did not leave in good standing. And job number 1, I left in good standing. So as you guys can see, even though the length of my employment was short, but 6 of my last 8 jobs I left in good standing. Since this type of harassment seeks to paint a picture of the target as being unstable and erratic, this information regarding my employment is important. But as I stated before, the reasons why a target has to leave a job is not always because he got into trouble there. Some of these jobs I had to leave due to personal reasons. Next, I'm going to talk about some specific details regarding a couple of these jobs. Now, job number 3, I was very good at, and they were quite pleased with my work performance. So much so that when I was leaving there, they didn't want me to leave. And I'm going to show you guys one of the reasons why. Take a look at this next clip, which shows an accident that I avoided while I was with job number 3. As this first clip is pretty much self-explanatory, keep an eye on the second vehicle that shows up in the opposite lane. Watch how he crosses over the double yellow lines, not leaving me much space for the truck. Pay close attention to it because it does happen kind of fast. Here we go. This is a recognition of excellence that I received from the company after that last incident. They couldn't believe that I didn't get into an accident there because the road was so narrow. All right, I deliberately left the company name out because, I don't want to put that all over social media. Next, I'm going to speak about job number 2, which again, I did not leave in good standing. But the details of what happened there are actually more important than the job that I just spoke about. Now, I started out job number 2 extremely well also, and the boss there liked me a lot. She appreciated my work ethic and the fact that I came to work every day on time and that I was a safe driver. However, there were some people at that job who were there before me, and they didn't like the fact that she appreciated my work. Before I continue, I need you guys to understand something. What I'm about to say next is not something that I came up with on my own. This stuff was told to me by someone who's very familiar with these types of things. What this person told me is that there were people on that job who were doing occult practices, meaning like witchcraft, and these practices were being done on me. And what these people wanted was for me to lose that job. Now guys, I had no idea this was going on, and this was the furthest thing from my mind there. But again, this was told to me by someone who was very familiar with these practices. Now I'm going to show you guys what ultimately ended up happening with me there. Keep in mind, this is in addition to all the other stuff that was going wrong at that place, which I can get into in this short video. Check out this clip. As you guys can see, my truck was rear-ended by that little white vehicle. Did this have anything to do with any of the occult practices that was going on there? God only knows. But one thing that is interesting, I've had many close calls, but this was the only job that I've actually had an accident in. And after this incident, it was just a downward spiral of one thing after the other, until I finally decided to leave there.
Your workplace environment is toxic, so you switch jobs, and then it happens again. And you switch jobs again, and it happens again.
It's the hardest part about being a targeted individual, not reacting to the evil that they try to say about us. Because like I said, I've lashed out and got fired. I've got falsely arrested because what they do is they make up these lies. They say things. They make noises. You know, they provoke you, and then you get a reaction, and then they play the victim. And it's a narcissistic. It's a wicked, demonic program. It's dark versus light, my brothers and sisters. But this video is just to show you, my brothers and sisters, the tactics they use at jobs, because I've been fired from more jobs that I can count on my hands, my brothers and sisters. And you know the tactics they use.
So folks, those are two targets that are saying the same things. And more people are gradually coming out. As you can see, very severe employment issues are consistent with this type of harassment that I've been speaking about for years. It's a spiritual attack, and the name of it is at the top of this page. I want to mention one last thing before I end this video. In regards to targets who are being attacked by occult practices in the workplace, it's important to remember that the people who are doing the spiritual attacks are not really the problem. They're just puppets. Satan is using them to attack the target. If the target happens to be working with people who do witchcraft at that particular time, then the target will likely be attacked by witchcraft. The devil will use any weapon at his disposal to get at the target. Remember, the people are just puppets. Satan is working through them to attack the target. But fear not, no weapon formed against us shall ever prosper. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and God bless.